What up, y'all? Illegit here. About to go over a couple PLO hands with y'all. Pot limit Omaha. Low stakes cash game. This guy I'm playing against, I had a read. He was loose, aggressive, and a decent player at least. Thinking player. And you know, he's three betting a decent amount, and you know, two barreling and three barreling a decent amount, which he should be doing in pot limit Omaha. Heads up, quite frequently. So I had a pretty good read that he was a decent player. So don't ask me why I kept playing him, but I did. Anyways, so 4, 5, 8, 6 on the button, the definite open raise hand. You should be opening about 70% of your hands, and this is one of them. So go ahead and open it. Raise, pot, he calls. Well, okay, we get a strong flop. We flop a pair and a pretty solid wrap. So, and there's no flush draw wrap. So, if he checks, we're going to c-bet for value. I don't c-bet quite as often in pot limit Omaha as I do in Hold'em, Nolan and Hold'em, but generally about 60 to 65% of the time I do. And this is a good flop for a c-bet for us, just for value. So he checked, c-bet, and call. At this point, I'm giving him like either you know, like a queen, like queen jack 10, 8 or something like that, or like, you know, ace queen jack 9 or ace queen jack 8, or you know, some hands like that. Just a top pair that doesn't necessarily want to play a big pot out of position, or you know, maybe a weak two pair, or you know, maybe a 6-8 with not much else to go with it, like 6-8, 10 ace or something like that. Okay, so anyways, those are the type of hands he probably has. Next card, we make our nuts on the turn with the full house redraw, so we're definitely going to two barrel for value here. I usually do about either 5.5 or 6 in this spot. A lot of people will mash pot here with the nuts and then bet smaller amounts when they're drawing or when they have weaker hands, but that's obviously a tell, and against a good player you don't want to do that. Yeah, even against bad players I tend not to do that, just to remain unexploitable. Anyways, so bet that amount and he calls. Now I'm thinking he's got like a hand like 7-5, maybe 7-5-4, 6, something like that, or you know, 3 pair, or maybe like 7-5-4-4, or like queen 5, 4, something, or some hand like that. Possibly, maybe just a queen that turned a flush draw to go with it, or maybe a hand like 7-5-6-4, you know, 3 pair with the open ender. I might have said that already. Anyways, he definitely doesn't have a straight, and he could have turned a flush draw to go with his 2 pair or his top pair. River's a flush card. We don't like to see it, but he checks. So against this player, I'm pretty sure he'd bet a king high or queen high, or probably even a jack high flush for value into me here, like 90% of the time, and or maybe even most medium flushes. And I think the range of hands I was putting him on, most of them aren't flush draw hands, especially backdoor flushes. So I'm not too concerned with it. However, in this spot, if I do bet, it's hard to get called by too many worse hands. But he might make a hero call thinking that I'm just trying to rep a backdoor flush or something, and just be firing. And I've three barreled often enough against him that you know, it's a possibility. I forget if I had shown any 3-barrel bluffs, but I'm pretty sure I had, as we had been playing for quite a while. So I go ahead and make a thin value bet, hoping he'll make a hero call with 2 pair or like a small set. And to my surprise, he jammed on me, so it's kind of sick. And against like 99% of opponents, you should fold here, because most people who play pot limit Omaha and suck at low limits are nut peddling fish. So, well, and against those players, let me be clear, you shouldn't even be betting the river in the first place. But against this opponent, first of all, I'm 90% sure that he doesn't have a king high flush, because I'm positive he would bet it into me, because he would expect me to check back a hand like a straight or possibly a set and not bet it thin. Even though he's seen me three barrel a couple times, he would still expect me to do that a lot of the time. So I'm not giving him a king high flush, and if he doesn't have a king high flush, he's probably not jamming here. So I just think he's full of shit a lot here, and based on most of the hands I was giving him, I think it's a good spot for a hero call. So I decided to, and I was good. He decided that he knew his two pair wasn't good after the river, and he's probably putting me on like a medium flush at that point, and thinking that he can get me to just lay it down, because my most likely hand when I bet that river is a backdoor medium flush or like queen high flush, something like that, and possibly 6-8, but I don't think he would expect me to bet it for value that often, even though I did. And so yeah, it was kind of an interesting non-standard hand, but like I said, against 90% of opponents who play this game, you're mostly just going to be checking back that river, or making like a really small value bet and folding to a check raise or something like that. There's a lot of bad players also who just check call down with a set, and no matter what comes out, or check call down with two pair no matter what comes out, you know. So against those players, obviously you would have to adjust, but against the typical loose passive nut peddling fish, yeah, you just check back this river a lot of the times. But anyways, it's an interesting hand, not necessarily helpful when you're playing most of your typical opponents, but some higher level thinking going on there against better opponents. Anyways, I'm saying the same thing over and over at this point, so I'll just cut the video there. That's the hand. Thank you for watching. Peace.